Welcome to another episode of Dolls of the Week. This week we're going to do something a little bit different. On a recent discussion that I was having online with some other Barbie doll collectors, we had noticed in some pictures that I posted the differences and or similarities of the same doll. So for instance, I had 4 dolls that I've had since the 80s, some of my favorites, and I recently bought an auction where those same 4 dolls were in a doll trunk with clothes, all for one price, which was a pretty good price, by the way. And when I took pictures of the new dolls, so-called new to me, with the old dolls, some of the differences were kind of striking. I'm talking about in the faces. Obviously the outfits are the same and the overall look is the same of the doll. But when you put them together, sometimes there's quite a difference. And let's start by looking at these 2 dolls, which are 2 that I already had. And this is, of course, Day to Night Barbie. And this is her daytime. This is her nighttime. If you've seen that before. But when you look at the faces, I think these 2 look pretty similar. Obviously, the different hairstyle puts a little different look to it. But in general, they look pretty similar. Although, there is some slight differences. And I think part of that can be explained because anytime you're manufacturing something, especially in this case a doll with face paint, there's going to be some differences in different lots, different methods, different manufacturing groups, etc. So some differences are definitely explainable, but some of these look quite different. For instance, let's look at this one. This is Crystal Barbie, as you might remember. And as far as I know, by the way, and this is one of the ones, this one here is one of the ones I got in the recent auction. If you look closely at her face, and especially at her eyes, they look like that. Now, if you look at the one that I've had for many years, this is what she looks like. So when you just look at one separately, you're not going to see much of a difference. But to me, when you hold these 2 next to each other, there's actually quite a difference, I think. And several people had commented on that too. So that's one example of what we were talking about. There's another one with these 2 Peaches and Cream dolls. Now, this is the one that I have had for years, and as far as I know, this is the original. It is possible, by the way, that I had switched it over the years and gotten it mixed up, and it isn't really the right one. But I compared it to the Repro Peaches and Cream from not too long ago, and it looked like it's the same one to me. Then I got this one in an auction, and when you look at her, especially the eyes, very different. This one is probably the most different. I'll let you look at this one up close. There's her eyes. Dress is in very good shape, by the way. This dress is a lot less faded than one I've had for years. I don't know how that happened, but just over the years it faded. And I have washed this dress, I believe, so it's not that it needs a wash, although that never hurts. But when you look at the face on this one, it just looks different to me. So I don't know. I'd be curious to see what you guys out there think, if that is indeed a Peaches and Cream. I actually had comments online on the group that I'm in, both ways. Some people thought it was a Peaches and Cream, that one I've had for a while. I mean, when you take her out of this outfit, and then along with other dolls, and then later you redress them, there is the possibility to switch them and not be sure. But I'm pretty sure this is her. So let me know what you think. Here's another one. There are some differences. This one not so much, such big differences. This is Fashion Jeans Barbie. Now this is not one that I had in the very early 80s. I'm rebuttoning her pants here since they came unbuttoned in the back. And I got this one later online and through eBay, I'm assuming. And somebody had, restyled her hair in this nice, side look. And then they put these earrings. Now, I probably wouldn't have chosen these earrings, although they are pink, so they do go with what she's wearing. But I don't love them. And, you know, they're okay for now. She does have her pink boots, which are kind of cool. And I always like, I think I mentioned this before, but I always kind of like this fashion jeans look. I thought it was kind of cool. And I never did like when the shirts or the tops gape in the back, so I always wish they put another button or snap there. So this is the one that I've had for quite a while, and you can see her face there. And this is the newer one, who, by the way, has a little bit of a loose neck, or head on her neck. And, you know, I think she looks, I'm trying to get this where you can see it. I think she looks pretty similar, actually, in this case. Let's see. But, you know, what's weird is, and her hair is just in a ponytail in the back, but it's amazing that, to me at least, I think, depending on what you do with the hair, that it really does make the face look different, too, because her face looks chubbier, which, to think of a Barbie with a chubby face is pretty funny. But, yeah, to me, these look like they are the same doll, but they just look a little different when you look at them. And the eye makeup, when I look at the eye makeup on this, it's kind of like day to night. They look the same as far as the eye makeup, or pretty darn close. Okay, there's another one I want to show you, and that is this pretty girl that I'm sure some of you know. It's not Peaches and Cream. Sweet Rose's PJ. So here's Sweet Rose's PJ, and this one, by the way, I have a question for the viewers out there that might be able to help with this. This is obviously is Sweet Rose's PJ. I took her out of the box when I got her, and she's not been out that long, maybe a year. Still has somewhat of a new smell. So that's what she looks like. And then this is a doll I got in a recent auction. And, you know, like I said, sometimes these are Goodwill type things where they're not in the best shape, but sometimes I am able to get their hair looking nice again. So this one is an example of that, where her hair was kind of matted and not so good looking, but I got it to where it looks pretty good again. Obviously she's not in her original dress anymore. She does have a nice head of hair. It could probably still be worked with to make it look even better, but at least I got it back to where you can brush it through some work. And her neck is slightly loose, but not too bad. And obviously this is some other dress that I don't even know if this is an actual Barbie dress, but I thought it looked good on her. I actually put her for sale on one of the Barbie pages, so if you're interested, you can look at her for sale on that, or let me know. But when you hold these two together, look at their faces, and she's got a little flower in her face, but I'm going to switch hands so I can get a better grip on this big dress here. So what my question is do you all think this really is Sweet Rose's PJ? I think so, but I'm certainly not for sure. But when I look at them together, they look pretty similar. And when I look at them up close, they look pretty similar. They don't look identical, though, so I just don't know. I mean, and it's possible. Somebody asked me if, you know, this has been enhanced in some way, and I was like, well, not by me, except for doing the hair. But sure, it's possible somebody did over the years. She does look like, the one thing that I will say about this one, she has more cheek makeup or blush than this one does. So it's possible that this is another version, and we've got some people in some of these groups that really know a lot about the faces and so forth, more than I do, and they may be able to help with that as well. So that's those examples, and I have one last example, and that is with Pink and Pretty. This is a Pink and Pretty that I have, and here's what she looks like close up. And then I have one other one I'm going to have to reach to get because she is a little higher than I thought. Let me get her. And this is the peach, I keep saying peach, pink and pretty that I've had for a while. So here she is. And when you look at them together, they look different to me. I mean, somewhat different. And when I look at them up close, the eyes look quite different. So I'm not convinced that these are both the same doll, but I just don't know. So I'm curious to see what you guys think about this whole topic. But when you look at them up close, it's just, I don't know. It looks like they could be different dolls, but anyway, I think it's something to think about, and it's an interesting topic. And I think that these crystal Barbies showed the differences the best, in the eyes especially. I mean, they just don't look like the same doll. To me, actually, this almost looks like a Barbie clone, but it's not. It's a Barbie. And you can tell when you see it in person. But the painting on this is just quite a bit different. It's actually much more distinct. When you see the, I don't know if you guys can see the eyelashes on this, but probably not. I don't think you are able to, but it's very distinct, whereas the other one not quite as much. So I would also be interested in knowing, and if anybody knows, please let me know, how they actually do that. I mean, especially, this is from the 80s, so we're talking about then versus maybe how they do it now. Could have obviously changed in all those years. So for now, I'm going to say goodbye, and I will see you guys on the next episode of Dolls of the Week. So take care.